Devil May Cry 5 is a challenging game, but not in the same sense as the Dark Souls series. On the easiest difficulty setting, dubbed Human Mode, I breezed through the entire game and beat almost every single boss, including the final one, on my very first attempt, the exception being the penultimate boss, which took me 2 gold orbs to beat, the game's version of a game over. Just for my personal satisfaction, I went back to redo that same boss and was able to defeat it without using any gold orbs. Now, if you're looking for a stiffer challenge, don't worry. The Devil Hunter mode is available from the outset, which ups the difficulty quite a bit, and higher difficulties can be unlocked with each playthrough. With that said, series veterans know that beating the game is only half the equation. The other half is doing it in style. The game ranks your performance in real time as you hack and slash your way through demonic hordes. The ranking goes up and down depending on the number of successive hits you land while avoiding damage and how much variety you use in your attacks. It's not too terribly hard to survive even the toughest scenarios, but doing so in stylish fashion while taking as little damage as possible is where the true challenge lies. During my first few hours with Devil May Cry 5, I was content to get through each battle, defeat the boss, and move on to the next mission. But the longer I played, the more dissatisfied I became with simply beating levels while using the same moves over and over again. I then started to put more effort towards understanding the intricacies of combat and taking full advantage of my entire arsenal. That's when the game began to open up and became more fun and rewarding. Slowly but surely, my scores began to rise as my attacks grew in variety and as I fought with more finesse, resulting in much more engaging and entertaining fights. Devil May Cry 5 gives you plenty of room to improve, and the better you get, the more satisfying it is to slay demons. Sure, you can beat this game by relying on the same basic attacks, but ultimately, you're only depriving yourself of the best the game has to offer. Devil May Cry 5 is easily one of the best looking games of this generation. The environments set the mood perfectly for fighting monsters. The enemies are grotesque and twisted in all the right ways. The bosses are especially fearsome and intimidating. Meanwhile, Dante, Nero, and V are rendered realistically and move with convincingly lifelike animations. These 3 playable characters have some of the craziest moves the franchise has ever seen, and trying to remember how to perform all of them could be a daunting task, but it's well worth it when everything comes together and you're hitting S ranks as you orchestrate spectacular fight sequences that look like they were ripped straight out of a blockbuster action flick. Devil May Cry 5 is absolutely stunning. I've been a fan since Devil May Cry 4, and I knew that I would enjoy this game no matter what, but I did not expect this to be one of the best action games of all time. 2018's God of War. Devil May Cry 5 is an instant classic in more ways than one. This is as straight up an action game as I've seen in a long time. In an age where everyone demands a game to be open world, it's refreshing to see a linear action title with virtually no fillers, focusing almost entirely on combat with minimal exploration and 0 puzzle solving. The execution here is near flawless. The presentation is AAA, the story is interesting, and the gameplay is polished. Devil May Cry 5 is my first Game of the Year contender for 2019, and it's going to take something truly special to top this one. It's one of the finest games you'll see not only this year, but of all time.